This is the Throttle Out Show, presented by Vixen Industries, the only show where monster truck drivers and mechanics come together to present what's happening in the monster truck community. It's the ultimate combination of torque, horsepower, and trash talk. And now for your hosts. First, straight out of the heart of Detroit Rock City, it's Kid Rock's neighbor and former driver of the BKT ride truck. It's Austin Spence. And the duo deep in the heart of Texas, it's the show owner and daughter of a man who conquered the industry for over 20 years. It's Harley Johnson, along with everyone's favorite Bryce Kenny lookalike, Austin Tweedy. So go ahead, fuel up, strap in, and remember, when in doubt, throttle out.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to the Throttle Out Show. I really hope everything is working, okay tonight down there and, technological side of things. If it's not, please comment down below, let us know. But what's up, everybody? We are halfway through the work week. We're doing it, y'all. We're going to make it to the weekend. We're going to survive really close to Christmas break. If you went to work today, you got up early, like myself, like the lovely Miss Harley Jo over here. Let us know in the comments that y'all went to work today. Put the notes to the grindstone, made some dollar bills for you and your family. We got a good show tonight. Special guest Ryan LaCoste joining us. I've actually never met him in person, so this is actually going to be a genuine, organic meeting of new friendship. This is going to be fun. But first, we need to get our boy from Detroit Rock City. He is known as Austin Spence. What's up, baby?
What's going on, guys? Dude, it is, I'm not going to lie, it's really weird. We're in, the second or third week of December, and it's around the 40s and 50s here in Michigan. I don't trust the weather right now. I'm gearing up for probably a huge winter storm probably by the end of the month. So
gross.
I may be streaming in an igloo come the new year, but we'll see. Anyway, well, how are you guys doing? How's Texas going down there for you guys? I'm sure it's nice and warm and toasty, unlike the rest of us.
Well, it's been pretty windy today.
Windy,
blowing everything over today.
Wind almost blew us over today. We were outside digging a hole, we were trenching.
He was
okay,
digging a hole.
yeah,
I was
digging a hole.
digging a hole.
Yeah. I'm an electrician. Sometimes we got to do that stuff, and almost got blown over today. Cooper man, Poncho man, what's up? Oh, okay.
Howdy. What are you drinking?
What are you drinking tonight?
We literally just got through intros and you're drinking already?
Well, yeah, I got to go straight to the tequila.
Oh,
what kind of tequila?
Going good.
Lord have mercy. Oh, well, we're off to a great start. This is going to be an interesting one, folks, so buckle in. This is going to be a long one.
What kind of tequila are you drinking there, Coop?
The Terramana tequila. The Rock.
Oh, the Rock's tequila.
The Rock's the only way.
We got people in the comment section quoting The Rock's new song. So
exactly. That's why I went and poured me one.
Hey, before we get started tonight, y'all, I want to bring up something to y'all. If y'all like this show, you enjoy watching it, you enjoy tuning in, do us a huge favor if you wouldn't mind. Please like, share, and subscribe our videos. And then obviously go and sign up for our giveaway. Today is the last day. It ends at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Sign up for it. Help us support us. This is a free show. So we thank y'all for hanging out with us, but also going and shopping at our store and sharing our videos really helps us. Goes a long way. Now, as we had mentioned previously before, we have a special guest joining us tonight. I've never met the guy in person before. He seems like a really cool guy. I think everybody else on the show here knows him, though, so I'm just the oddball out. But I've never heard anything but good things. How about this fella? I'm excited to talk to him. Used to be hanging out with everybody at Monster Jam, and now he is doing a bunch of stuff we were talking about before the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever on the Throttle Out Show, round of applause for Mr. Ryan LaCosse.
Yay! This is not the Throttle Outies, right?
No.
Oh, my gosh. We even got Ryan saying it now.
Maybe next year. I will say, that intro had me hype AF. On the Bryce Kenny lookalike scale, I'd give you about a 6.5.
Thank you.
And I'm still waiting. Where is the username and password for Poncho's OnlyFans account? I think he likes to play with monster trucks. I really likes to play with monster trucks and recreate old shows in a thong that in the front says, "When in doubt, throttle out," and then in the back is an exclamation mark.
Oh. Wow.
Well, I'm glad you subscribed.
That's some merch that we need to make.
I'm glad you subscribed, first off.
When am I getting that? I need that username and password.
After the show. We'll do it after. All right.
All right,
You'll get a
cool,
discount.
cool.
You'll get a discount.
Happy holidays, and hey, thank you so much for having me. I think what y'all do are great, and we love monster trucks, so let's talk monster trucks.
Well, right out of the gate,
Absolutely.
my man, I want to know kind of what your path was to Monster Jam. And I just kind of give everybody a little background on all of us. I got to Monster Jam. I grew up in the independent world, actually on the Bigfoot side in the monster truck world. So going to Monster Jam was a really weird venture for myself. Harley's dad, longtime crew guy and driver for Monster Jam, driving the Gas Monkey Garage. Most famously, me and Spence met on our very first day of work at Monster Jam. Spence got to know some people in the independent world and worked his way into Feld. And then Cooper, I actually don't really know how you got to Monster Jam. Was that something that your dad, knowing Tom,
My neighbor.
is that how that worked?
My neighbor was Tom Mintz.
Okay.
He just walked over, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna work here now." And then he was just like, "All right, here's the wrench. You're good to go."
Fun fact. So, Ryan, I kind of want to know, how was your path, or what was your path to get to Monster Jam?
So we'll start here, and here I am in the back of a ride truck. Which, I mean, look at that safety back in, back in the late '80s, early '90s, and so. From Great Lakes Dragway, Santa Fe Speedway, the amphitheater in Chicago, Rosemont, Horizon. That's really where the fandom started. And like most kids, just was obsessed with monster trucks when they came out. My parents actually would buy me the toy monster trucks that I still wish I had. If I would be good at the grocery store, because I have ADHD and I was a nightmare. And back in the late 80s and early 90s, parents didn't know how to handle kids with ADHD. There just wasn't the information that's out there today. So it started there. The card collections. Oh, by the way, I saw Bob Chandler at the Monster Truck Hall of Fame. He looks just as beautiful today as he did in that picture.
Hey, man.
And then I went to college, and I stopped liking, or just paying attention. I was busy. I didn't watch TV, doing college stuff and getting my degree. I was going to be a math teacher. Ended up in radio and television production, and then moved to where I live now, Peoria, Illinois, to do radio. And one of my interns one summer left, and before I knew it, she's like, "Hey, I'm in Las Vegas, getting ready to leave the Monster Jam World Finals and go on vacation." And I messaged her, I'm like, "Isn't the Monster Jam World Finals the ultimate family vacation?" and she's like, "I work there now." And she mentioned they were looking for hosts, and I was like, "Oh, that would be awesome. I would love to do that." Not thinking that I would ever get a phone call from Scott Douglas, because just a few years later, when MySpace was hip, I was messaging, after I graduated college, moved out to Peoria, I had Speed TV, and I saw the World Finals on TV, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" And the next year, my wife and I went, and it was that same year that there were some unfortunate events at not just Monster Jam, but some other shows that took some lives. And so me just being like, "Hey, monster trucks, I like them. How do I get involved?" But also having this kind of radio thing. I got a phone call one day from Monster Jam, and my bosses in radio were like, "Hey, they want to talk to you." And I'm like, "Awesome." And they're like, "It doesn't sound awesome." Because they thought I was trying to be a shock jock at first. And then so a couple years later, MySpace goes away. I just really liked monster trucks. That's what I just said. I just really like monster trucks, and I just wanted to know how to get into the industry. But then a couple years later, intern goes to Feld, says she works for Monster Jam. I get a call from Scott Douglas one day. Next thing I know, I'm in Florida training. Next thing I know, I'm going on tour. Next thing I know, I'm on TV, and it's just been, it was a whirlwind of awesome. I mean, yeah, there it is, one of the first show, David Bradshaw, and then we got to go to the final Metrodome Monster Jam. That was like my last training, and then there's one of the more fun Monster Jam World Finals with Farouk and Leslie and Taylor. USA won, and oh man, that moment right there, I have never been more nervous than when you're working with your idol Scott Douglas there, and he's looking you in the face, and you're trying to just be as epic as he has always been. And then another great crew of great shots. I love Adam. He's always fun to make some fun faces in our pictures, and I'll just never forget all of the fun times. I mean, you try your best to remember everything, but sometimes the road can get the best of you.
Yes, it can. So that was your beginning, and we'll come back. We'll talk about all the good stuff in a minute. Now I kind of want to talk about the end. You know, when you left Monster Jam, when you exited the stage, you know, how all that came to be. When you left, was that, you know, because of all the COVID stuff, Ryan?
No, but it was basically the fall before.
Gotcha.
So 2019, Monster Jam moves to NBC. Scott Jordan gets the nod, and I had a great tour with Keith Jones and the lovely Lola, and that's where Oakland. We went to Seattle. That view at that stadium where the main host gets to stand, unbelievable. That year was just so fun, and I found over the years when we were in Miami one year, and it was the first year that we were at Marlins Stadium. I was walking out to the pit party, and I was like, I miss my family, and I just want to entertain my family, because I was on the road a lot, and I was doing radio during the week, from 3 a.m. till about 1 p.m. And then that would be Monday through Friday. Recording a TV show on Wednesday, flying out Thursday or Friday night to go to wherever we were going. And so I was just like, I just want to entertain my family. And Best Buddies, an opportunity arose to where I could be the area director to help fundraise and create growth for opportunity and inclusive spaces for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And having a child on the autism spectrum, volunteering at schools out here with children who have IDD, and then also meeting a lot of families on the road and kids and people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So what I love about Monster Trucks is you can be whoever you want to be at these events. You can be as loud as you want to, you can be as wild as you want to and silly, and you know, you're welcomed. And there were some places where you can definitely tell that inclusion is a thing in those cities. And the November basically before COVID, I became the area director for Best Buddies, and I just thought it would be best to put that on pause. Also, you know, I've got two amazingly, you know, handsome, intelligent, and young men who need guidance, and I want to be home for them, and I want to be a great parent and provide them with support and love, and prepare them to be great hosts for Monster Jam or drivers someday, or help them kind of reach their goals. So it was just right before COVID that I decided to give up radio, to kind of pass the mic, so to speak, for and give people with disabilities the stage instead of me. And I hate to say that, luckily I made the right decision, because I watched so many of my friends struggle and be put in such a tough situation where they couldn't do what they loved. And not only that, but also provide support to their families. And this last 2 years has just been crazy. Kudos to anybody who's running a business, who has just been trying to keep their careers alive, who've had a dream that's just been on pause for so long. Like I hope that in this next year you get to be more fruitful in whatever that endeavor is for you, and I would never wish anything ill like this upon anyone ever again. It's been one of the most difficult times, and with what I do, trying to provide inclusive spaces for people with disabilities, this is the most uninclusive time of our lives. So trying to do what I can to continue to build upon that virtually, but also try to help people with disabilities find great jobs, great friendships, and help them become the mic holders in the future. That's what I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to see a Monster Jam with a driver on the autism spectrum, or a host who has Down syndrome, or insert disability here, person who wants to see their dreams succeed, and them finding that place. And again, that's what I love about Monster Trucks, is you can be yourself and you can be loud and proud about it, and I love it.
I love that. That was a good word, man. I appreciate you and all that. I love what Best Buddies is doing in your area, and I didn't know any of that till just now. So that's great, man. Now,
it's nationwide. Actually, it's worldwide. Actually, it's not just here in Central Illinois. And so we can talk about that off mic. But yeah, just you can be matched in a peer-to-peer friendship with someone with a disability someday, and I'd love to make that happen.
So Spence, Coop, y'all jump in here at any time you want because I got a boatload of questions over here. Matter of fact, I kind of want y'all to say something here before I just kind of
No, you're
get away to
you're
run
fine,
with it.
Sweetie. We know how it is. You start talking and we can't get you to stop sometimes, Sweetie. It's fine. We're used to this by now. Almost a year into the show. But no, Ryan, just one of the things, just kind of talking about, got people on the spectrum being able to look up and see their dreams and everything. That is super awesome. Someone I really want to talk about real quick in regards to that is Christopher Allen. He's one of the curators over at the Monster Truck Hall of Fame, and he occasionally announces some shows. One of the funniest, down-to-earth guys I've ever met. You were at the Hall of Fame during the inductee ceremony, were you not, with the TNT Motorsports Unfinished Business? Did you get a chance to meet Christopher Allen?
I did, and I've met him out before on the road, and it's usually pretty brief because we're always running around doing the pit parties and whatnot. But I did, and I was impressed to see him there, and I love that is just something that people can grab onto, and I'm a fan, but it's guys like him that put me to shame in my fandom for monster trucks.
Well, no shame here, man. I'm still learning a bunch of stuff every single day because I kind of made a comment on like a Facebook group because I remember seeing a clip of some trucks doing a concrete arena show from back in the early 2000s, and I made the comments like, "Oh, I missed the Thunder Nationals." I was immediately told that it was not Thunder Nationals, and basically immediately put it in my place. But it's so cool seeing like how much attention to detail a lot of people in this community notice from like different tours, different drivers, even up to like different chassis or parts being replaced on trucks. It's absolutely incredible. But you said you grew up back in the 80s, so growing up as a kid, as a fan of monster trucks, who was your favorite truck back in the day?
Man, I mean, everybody loved the Foot, right? Come on. But I really kind of had something for the Chopper Monster. I had a soft spot in my heart for that. But who didn't love the black and green wrecking machine?
Oh my gosh!
Playing for keeps, looking good there. Nightlife looking good. That's the one where Clydesdale blew out the tire. USA 1 runs through the wall. I thought Stomper went through the wall that weekend too. And they used to drag race in that venue, which was unbelievable. But I loved the Barefoot Racer. Goliath was one, like Goliath and Crimson Crusher. As far as just like cool factors, I would say I just loved those two trucks.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. So is there any distinct moments you remember from your childhood where like some like your top moments that you got to see live, like nothing you'd see on TV, but stuff that you got to experience? Like I remember you were saying about Stomper going into the wall. I remember seeing that on VHS, forever ago. I think it was like the biggest and baddest monster trucks, I believe, from way back when.
Yeah,
oh man,
snake bite, and then breaking the water barrier, that was cool. What else? I was there for the World Finals with Barefoot and Taurus at Rosemont. I was at the Barefoot reunion in Kankakee, which you can ask Tom Mentz. Dustin Brown was there. Eric Stern. I think I've got more pictures of Eric Stern than he has of himself. Which, if you don't know who he is, he's a photographer, a legendary photographer, I would say, in capturing the history of monster trucks. So yeah, I would say those are some of my more surreal moments. But then, I got to be a part of, I would say, the biggest moments in Monster Jam, from the front flip to just kind of the evolution of what we've really seen Monster Jam is now. I got to be a part of some of those things in moments with like Rob Dyrdek and The Rock, but it's hard to really top the front flip though. That was the one moment where even I was just mind blown, and my adrenaline was out of control, and when I finally came down, my voice was wrecked. And like the last half of the show, I'm like doing that. It was awful. Somebody was yelling at me. They're like, they noticed your voice sounds bad. I'm like, it is the fourth day in a row in Vegas, but also there was a front flip.
So that you're kind of leading into one of my questions, which was, being a part of those big moments. Like here on the show, anybody who's ever tuned, we love to get carried away, right? We love to get rowdy and just be dumb. But when you see a moment like that live, everyone in the stadium, they're reacting, they're screaming, they're standing up, their hands are in the air. How do you take and channel that energy, that momentum, and translate it into something that's going to be forever recorded? I mean, you've done such a great job at that. I assume that has a lot to do with your calling going into being in radio and obviously announcing monster trucks. I mean, is there a secret? You got a secret sauce just to be, like I said, to channel that energy and not sound like a loon on TV?
You do your best to keep your focus, and you try your best to keep it forward. So like one time there was a streaker at like my third ever stadium show is Atlanta, and this guy just runs right past me. And I'm like, what the? And Neil Elliott just got done freestyling. Luckily, this guy didn't get plowed over by a loader. But I talked about the scores. I kept the crowd engaged with what we had seen. They knew that guy was running around. You watch that video; they're cheering and laughing the whole time. I've seen Tex and Dirt guys biff hard, and that's hard not to laugh when you're trying to give a score or something like that. But you get caught sometimes, and so when Tom did the double backflip at Gillette Stadium, and I didn't think he was going to hit it. I didn't, and I love Tom to death, and I wanted him to so bad. And he's coming down, and I'm like, oh, and he lands it, and I go, oh, and so the mic is like, it's way far away, and you couldn't hear it in the bowl, but everyone on the internet heard it. And then they made fun of me for it for a few days afterwards on Fox Sports 1. And so, and there was another time I was in a shot where Diesel Dave did the double backflip the back-to-back flip in Brodozer at Angel Stadium. You could see me, you're allowed to have fun. If you're not having fun, no one else is having fun. Just like with this show, if you're not having fun and you don't like what you're talking about, people are going to notice. They're going to pick up on that. So, try your best to keep your focus. And even when you want to let that little kid that used to stand in the aisle row and jump up and down and scream the whole time, that's the kid that's inside still. But when you got that microphone and you're in front of people, it's game time.
Hoop, you taking notes over here, man? Are you listening?
I'm always taking notes.
I thought you were taking a nap for a minute. I'm glad you're tuning in.
No, just let y'all ask your questions. They were all good questions, and yeah. But
Do you have
I got
one yet?
I guess. No, yeah, it was almost answered already, and I was like, oh, well, shit. And it went. But I guess one of them was obviously Monster Jam brings out big opportunities randomly. So it was back. I don't remember what year. I think it was 19 or it was 18 when we did the HBO show for The Rock, the Ballers. How did it feel like for being chosen to do that part for the show out of all the other I actually can't think of the name commentators for the show?
I hope that's a microphone you're simulating in your hand.
Listen, words are really hard right now.
Hosts?
I don't know why. That was unique. Out of all the people that work for Monster Jam that talk during the show, how did it feel that you were chosen out of all of them to do an HBO show with The Rock and going to Hollywood and all that fun stuff?
It was at first, I didn't know, I'd never seen the show. And so then I ordered HBO right after I got the first call so I could watch it. And I was pretty hooked. I'm like, all right, I can get behind this. I was also like, wow, we're going to do this? But there could have been so many Hollywood people that could have played Craig. And they could have just put any bozo in there that could have, everybody, monster trucks. But I thought the whole thing was crazy and how they wanted to. So we were supposed to film that live at the World Finals with all of those people there. And there was an unfortunate incident in The Rock's life. He had a passing of a relative. I think it was his wife's dad. And so he had to go. And so we did really a lot of, there wasn't a green screen, but kind of green screening. So when you see the final shot in the end of me and The Rock, and then the rolled over monster truck, and then the audience, that's a series of cuts. So that's The Rock and I in a green screen. That's us at 2 in the morning, also the shot of the truck being rolled over in Sam Boyd Stadium, plus another shot of the actual crowd from that night in the stands. So for me, as a production person, that's crazy. That's crazy how well they made those shots look. And I would have loved for it to have been live, because I think the essence of all of that would have been a little better. But I mean, getting the opportunity to then go back to California to reshoot and see kind of some of the things in Hollywood that everybody wants to see. It was cool, and again, just to be that person was awesome. I hope I did it justice. I hope to see more growth and opportunity for Monster Jam to be, and Monster Trucks to be in the mainstream, because it's a great sport. It has a big fan base, and it has a very unique and intersection friendly fan base.
So, if you are at all interested in announcing or being a commentator for Monster Trucks, instantly, without choice, one of your idols somewhere, at least top 3, is Scott Douglas, and you got to work alongside him for a little while. And I just want to know, man, whether it's a memory of you two together or something that you picked up from Scott. I want to know something, just being able to work alongside him, something that's always going to stick out in your mind forever.
I used to love Brett Kepner's leather pants too.
Hey.
I would say having Scott over my shoulder for my first couple for that first FS1 tour, and kind of hounded me, and how nerve-wracking that was, and being so broke when I showed up to Houston, and how a lot of things just kind of changed from there. But I'll remember that because it taught me a lot, and then also sitting in the booth with him to record the World Finals was more nerve-wracking than actually doing that hit on the stage at Sam Boyd Stadium. So the intro for the World Finals, that first 30 seconds where they do the crowd shot, or the track shots, some truck shots, some driver shots, really hyping it up. I came into that going, this has to be the best intro I have ever done in my entire life, and I was so nervous, but it was great. I love watching it. It's one of the few things, I'm not trying to toot my horn, but it's something that I watch and I kind of get the chills, because I'm I know that was the best that I could be at that moment for that. Some of the best advice he ever gave me was at the first World Finals I hosted with him, when I said Cam Newton instead of Cam McQueen. And so he's like, listen, you're gonna mess up. Everybody messes up, especially if you're gonna be talking for 3+ hours. Just keep going. Just move on. And also, don't try to outshine the event. You'll never say anything cooler than what those monster trucks can do, and I believe that. I mean, you can do your best to keep a show that's a 7 at a 7, but unless those trucks are rocking, nothing you're going to do is really going to change that audience's mind.
So I just want to give a special shout out to one of our friends, and Drew Harris, who lives just right around the corner. If I go stand on the back porch and yell at him, he can probably hear me from here, but I see he's watching now in the comments. What's up, Drew? We all love you. Hope you're doing all right. Ryan, we've kind of been in the middle of something here in the last few weeks, just talking about MJ, and I'm going to change the subject totally off of what we've been talking about, and the drama that goes on behind the scenes in Monster Trucks. Okay, we all know a little bit about that. And I just want to just kind of pick your brain a little bit, maybe not even necessarily drama, but since Monster Trucks as a business, as a community, as an industry has come back from COVID, what are some things you've been picking up on? Monster Jam has been limited to the number of tickets they've been able to sell. However, independents, maybe not necessarily having to worry about that. They've been able to just go balls out and sell out. It's kind of almost a record-breaking year, if we're being completely honest, for independents. They've just, new tours are popping up now more than ever. They're selling out shows. They're having good shows. What are some things you've been picking up this year in 2021 in regards to just the monster truck industry as a whole?
It is strong, man. It is real strong, and kudos to Feld and the Monster Jam team for having to stick to a lot of the regulations in a lot of those bigger markets, and that's really what they were dealing with in that instance. Bigger cities were just more difficult to deal with. I'm in Peoria, Illinois, which is right in the middle. If you were to go up to Chicago, it's a totally different world. Down here, it's been a lot more loose, I guess you could say, with the rules, and some people follow them, some people don't. But in those bigger cities, you have to follow those guidelines. And the last thing that you want to be as a major company is a super spreader in the news at all. And I think that for the fair shows, for a lot of the smaller market events, good for those guys who have been able to put those events on. My only concern was that people would be safe. We haven't really heard of anything, but I don't know how you can't really trace or track any of that, so it doesn't even matter. But I look forward to everybody having opportunity, to the growth of the industry, and safety being a continued protocol, not necessarily just with COVID, but I think that also is another game changer for what we do. And you go to an event sometimes, you travel on an airplane and you get the flu, and who knows how many other people got it from who and a person. So it's just it's looking good for 2022. That's all I can say. I think that for the most part, in the majority of the markets that Feld's going to be going to, they'll be able to put on some capacity shows. I know that when they get to World Finals, that track at Camping World Stadium looks A, unbelievably epic, but B, in Florida, you can huff some bath salts and chew on somebody's face, and you just might get a couple years in prison, and they'll let you back out. It ain't too. So.
Damn it, Coop. That's not the message we're trying to send here.
Cooper's like, let's go.
Florida. I miss it. Yeah. Don't do drugs.
Gosh, Cooper. Where are we going? Anyway, so speaking of independence and other stuff, go ahead.
I was just say the one final note I would say too, with a lot of some more of the independent stuff, like that picture in your background, is the outdoor aspect of things. And I'm a firm believer in the outdoor science, and so I was able to do some outdoor shows this summer, and I felt comfortable with that, and I think everyone at those events did too. So just to kind of put that to bed, I'm just looking forward to 2022.
Well, that's what I was actually going to talk about, because that was the first time I got to actually run into you, was actually in Mears, Michigan, for Elliot's big, I think it's called Monster Truck Madness, that he finally brought back all the way up near the sand dunes. And it was super cool to finally get a chance to meet you, because I believe when I started at the company was shortly after you left, and I was actually really looking forward to meeting you. But talking about that a little bit, and leaving Monster Jam and commentating on independent shows, there's a couple lines that kind of stuck with you ever since you left the company, that sometimes come out when you're commentating on independent shows, like all 4 BKTs. I mean, has that kind of gone away a little bit since you leaving the company, or do you occasionally catch yourself saying some lines from working with the company?
Well, if they have BKT tires, for sure. But I think I did. Elliot called me out. I dropped a couple Monster Jams at that. There was the Escanaba show. So it is your personality. Who you are is who you're going to be. As long as you're just getting the branding right, that's really just the most important aspect of it. Otherwise, again, be yourself, have fun. Because if you're not having fun, then the crowd's gonna hate you, and you don't want that. There's one guy, he came up to me after the Escanaba show, and he's like, hey, he wanted the cruise shirt, and he's like, hey, how do I get one of those? I'm like, I don't know, man, I'm new. And he's like, he looked at me and he's like, you think I'm an idiot? I just watched you host an awesome show. And I'm like, no, this is my first time with this group. And then in Mears, that was awesome. I like your background too with Bad Habit. Joey, he's like, man, my tires really ate up that sand. He's like, I should have given it more throttle, because hopefully next year he'll just go full send, and we'll get some even better shots next year at that event. And I thought that was so fun too, a sand track, a drag strip, and that whole week I spent in Mears, Michigan was just unbelievable. The money, the horsepower, and the equipment people have for those sand dunes at the Silver Lake Sand Dunes. And we're looking forward to going back again around the 4th. Whether Elliot has me hosting the show or not, we're planning to go back, and hopefully we'll have some sort of a vehicle to play in the sand out there as well. And one of the things too is when we talked before the show about best buddies and creating accessibility, there was someone who my wife noticed there was a person with a disability in a wheelchair, and then they had their parent, and the parent was trying to carry everything across from one side of the track to the other through sand, and it was just extremely difficult. So one of the things that I encourage in people to not only just understand language and person first or identity first language for people with disabilities, but also being advocates for more access for people with disabilities to be a part of our shows, and trying to just create awareness to make sure we're all doing our best part to facilitate that inclusion. And then also to and this is a thing I think that motorsports could probably do a better job of in general is ending the R word, which
Yes.
is something that it's something in the past that I've heard people say, I grew up saying that, and okay, cool. It's 2022 now, and there are lots of amazing words in the dictionary, and there are lots of other words in the dictionary that maybe you could use to describe how you're feeling. So I'm going to take off my advocacy hat there, but that's just something that I would love for the motorsports community to get behind and make sure we're keeping an eye out for our brothers and sisters who may just need a helping hand a little bit.
I appreciate
Ryan,
you going the extra
I'm
mile to say that.
100%
Go ahead.
behind. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm 100% behind you on that. My mother-in-law, she is a special needs teacher down in Ohio, and my little sister is actually going to school to become a special needs teacher as well. And I couldn't be more proud in how selfless of an act it is to work with people, who have disabilities, and really use a helping hand. And hearing some people use that word, it gets my blood boiling, because they're some of the most kind, selfless people I have ever met. And it's so I just stand behind you 110%, just completely ending the R word. And
It's
honestly,
cringy.
after we get off the stream here, I'm gonna look up best buddies and see what's going on. Go ahead.
No doubt.
Sorry,
No,
my
we're
screen
going-
bugged out a little bit there, so.
No, I was just going to say, I might be running out of questions technically, but I think we need to have you back on at some point, because we've had a great damn show so far, and we're rolling into 40 minutes here. Ryan, I just want to thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us, talking to us about your experiences at Monster Jam and just being a fan of the monster truck world in general, but also talking about best buddies and something bigger, something, how we can all be better and play a bigger role and better in the lives of other people in this world. But Ryan, thank you so much for coming on again, and we will be seeing you down the road, my friend.
Yes. Who knows? Maybe you'll see me at a Monster Jam. Maybe you'll see me at a Monster Truck Wars. Maybe you'll see me at a Throwdown. Maybe in the stands or with a microphone in my hand. I guess we'll just see what 2022 has for us. But I will be hanging out with Dennis Anderson and Scott Douglas April 14th down at Digger's Dungeon, if anybody wants to come party with us. And then on the 16th we'll be in Raleigh for the TNT event. Yes. Yeah. I'm pumped, and I hope to see you guys there. Good luck, be safe, and thank you so much for having me. Keep doing what you guys are doing. I love it. Thank you.
Ryan LaCoste, everybody. Thank you, sir.
What an awesome dude.
Yeah, what a true guy, man. I didn't know. Like I said, that was my first time actually, getting to talk to him. So I learned a lot there. That was awesome. Best buddies. I hope y'all check that out after the stream's over with. Get to know more about that program, how you can be involved in the Best Buddies organization. But wow, that was awesome.
So there's something I'd like to address real quick, if we can.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why is there a sing-along going on in our comment section?
What is going on with that?
The karaoke night?
Yeah, Taylor and Paige have been going off like this entire time, and I think they're on "We Will Rock You."
Yeah,
I'm not
they're on
sure.
their fourth song right now or something.
Yeah, I've been watching that.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty sweet. I enjoy it.
So somebody I want to clap for right now, and I mean actually clap for. If y'all are into diesel monster trucks or just anything diesel related, especially Cummins engine related, friend Brandon Overmeyer with the American Outlaw Diesel Monster Truck. America_TV reached 1,000 subscribers this past week, and I want to give it up for our boy Brandon Overmeyer with the American Outlaw Truck. Huge accomplishment. Anybody who goes out and tries to create content as a YouTube channel knows how huge that is. We are so happy for you, man. Keep rocking it. Y'all check out that channel. If you're not subscribed to his channel, you should be. He's got some big things in the works. I'm not going to go ahead and spill the beans or talk about something that I shouldn't. That guy is awesome, and you need to pay attention to that channel. Now, Spence, I understand that there's not a shows with Spence this weekend or tonight.
Unfortunately,
R.I.P.
no, and I'm kind of sad about it. I'm waiting for shows to pop back up again, but
Just a couple more weeks.
it is
right?
what it is. I know. It's what, first or second weekend of January is when shows start popping back up.
Yeah, I think
hopefully,
it's the second weekend.
Oh,
Of January.
really?
I think so. Yeah. Well, do you not remember first quarter, Coop? I mean, good lord, you literally just left the company.
I tried to get that all out, honestly. I actually forgot. It came up pretty fast, to be honest. I gotta start working on some stuff now.
I'm just ready for the holidays to be done and over with, man. I'm excited
What?
about. Nothing. Okay, it's nothing against. Okay, like I enjoy spending time with my family and everything, but being a delivery driver during the holidays, people are nasty.
Yes,
People
they
are
are.
Yes,
awful,
they are.
especially when you're
Just-
over near a outlet mall. It is
Just carry a paintball
horrible.
gun.
Trust me, I would love to, but I'm trying to finish out my last couple of weeks with FedEx before I move on to my next adventure. So I need those paychecks, Cooper. I really don't want to go to HR and explain why I decided to bring a paintball gun and start shooting at customers. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but there's issues there. Anyway,
There's a way
Anyway,
around it.
back in the monster truck community, we have been kind of stirring up the dust, stirring the pot this past weekend and talking about Monster Jam. Been getting lots of phone calls, lots of text messages. Y'all down there in the comment section, y'all know what I'm talking about. Whether that's people be hacking into our system and messing up our stream, or people trying to silence us, or people just talking smack about us in the comment section on our shows or commenting on our videos. Been a lot going on, and we're in the off season. So come first quarter,
It's mainly just me.
mainly just Goop. But
Yeah,
come
they
first
just
quarter,
don't
y'all,
Grab about me.
this show is going to be nonstop. I mean, are we going to have to go to 3 nights a week? I hope not, but damn it. There's going to be a lot
Yes.
to talk about
There
come
is.
first quarter. What? Coop wants to go to 3 nights a week now.
I
Cooper's
enjoy
gonna
it
probably
every
have
night.
to pull double duty because there might be some nights where I'm not gonna be able to be on all the time.
That's right.
It's really bothering me that I can't come out and say anything yet. But Sunday's show,
Yeah, what are you
I
talking
will be
about?
officially making the announcement.
Yeah,
that's gonna what?
spill beans.
You can't
Spill
say it
them
yet?
Big Frank beans.
I cannot say it yet. We have to wait until Sunday's show. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. We have to wait for Sunday before I can make the official announcement.
Are you allowed to give us a
Spoiler
hint?
alert. He's going on.
I
tour
thought I
with
did on
Homes.
Sunday. Well, wait, did I give this hint on Sunday or Monday? Which stream did I give the hint on?
Who knows,
Because
dude? Who knows?
I don't know. You just like to tease.
I'm pretty sure I said that I will officially be getting back into motorsports, but it is not monster trucks, and this will be a full-time job. So I'm not So I'm excited because I really miss being on the road. Like with you guys, like Tweety, you had your own reasons of leaving the company. Cooper, obviously you did it for years. I had it ripped out completely underneath of me because of COVID, and I had no way of going back. So it's like, this is my only way to really stay in with motorsports is with the Throttle Out show. But an opportunity presented itself with my background, being with monster trucks and, my fabrication skills and mechanical skills, that they offered me a job, and I'd be stupid not to take it. And I'm really looking forward to it. But we will have more details and everything about that come Sunday when everything is written, when the ink is dry on the dotted line, everything's official and ready to go. Sunday, you guys will officially know where I'm going, what I'm doing, and what my schedule will look like in that field of racing. So,
As
Moving
well
on.
as we will be announcing our giveaway winner on Sunday's show.
right.
Registration ends tonight, 11:59
Wow.
p.m. CT, baby. So make sure you're registered. But I got to ask a question. We saw a picture earlier. We're talking about monster trucks now. We saw a picture of Too Tall's truck up there in the Utah area. The body all covered in snow. Is snow not what killed the dinosaurs in the first place. So is Jurassic Attack even going to be around come first
Wait.
quarter?
Wait, what?
Hold on.
What did
Time
you
out.
say?
Time out.
Wait,
What?
What?
The Ice
That was
Age.
the Ice Age there, buddy.
The Ice Age.
That was the Ice Age. Yeah, it was an asteroid that killed the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Did you forget
An
that?
asteroid killed dinosaurs. Not.
Nah, it was
Yeah.
the Ice Age.
No.
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 Snow killed dinosaurs.
No, that's not
No.
what happened.
They were dead
Oh.
before they got there.
Where did y'all go to school? Come on.
Where did
This
you
is
go to
common.
school?
Paxton.
Snow killed the dinosaurs.
All right, so
big-
So
even
now
though
I'm
I'm
worried.
somewhat
Meteorite.
close to Flint, Michigan, I'm just going to go on a whim and say do not drink the water in Texas.
Okay,
Or
I
wherever Tweety's
understand
from.
what happened to the dinosaurs. He doesn't understand what happened to the dinosaurs.
What?
Look, I'm worried now.
Aliens
What's
came
gonna
down
happen?
to this Earth, and it knocked out the dinosaurs, and they got stuck in it. In where is that? Alaska.
Yeah, they got stuck in a bunch
I
of
mean,
in
guys,
Alaska.
are we surprised? This is also the same man that hates Marvel and other
Yeah, that's
sources.
also
So
true.
I mean,
think
sorry,
he
Tweety,
hates it.
but I mean, you're not really helping your case here, bud.
Hey,
Asteroid
Tweety,
is
do you
what
like
killed the
Deadpool?
dinosaurs.
Say that again, Coop.
Tweety, do you like Deadpool?
I mean,
Not
it's-
really. He doesn't like
Yeah.
it.
You bitch.
Oh my gosh,
I'm trying to help you.
Cooper, we need to take him to like a Comic-Con or something. Like this man needs an
I've
education.
never been to a Comic-Con.
I feel like that would make it worse if you took him to a Comic Con.
Just to see how uncomfortable Tweety would get
Listen.
at a Comic-Con.
At least he likes Batman. That's all that matters. All right.
Batman and
yeah.
Homer Simpson are my two, almost,
You like Wonder Woman?
and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder Woman. Now, talking about monster trucks again. I'm worried about David Too Tall and Jurassic Attack. However, we were, told that that team is getting a new chassis coming from, was it the metal shop, y'all? So, if I am in the same understanding, for a few weeks ago, that Paul is supposed to be getting that chassis. And I think that new chassis is going to, is it Dalton? I think Dalton Widener on that team. Too Tall's not getting that chassis. I think Too Tall's staying in the same truck.
You can't see this comment.
No, I
It's
can't
this
see
one
this
right
comment.
here. Oh, there it
Yeah,
is.
Tweety says the Earth is flat. God help me.
The earth is not flat. Sorry. It's not.
I was going to say.
I guess we should
Like,
ask
from
Michael
the last
Strahan if the earth is
episode.
flat or not. He went to space this past weekend, so we should really be asking him.
Oh, this is the comment I was looking for. Paige also said we may or may not be getting some updates on Revenge in a couple weeks. Wonder what that could
Who's she
be.
getting revenge on?
Sweet.
No, her mini
Hopefully
monster
Taylor.
truck.
Someone in the comment section needs to be after him.
Who, Taylor?
Well, obviously, it's going to be me.
Yeah. Well, Cooper comes on here and gets bullied every single stream by Taylor. But apparently
No,
Taylor's in the
as
middle
of
of
right
doing
now, he
sing-alongs.
started a movement, and it's everybody now.
What are you going to do?
Fight them all, I guess.
Jeremy
right, your
Parsons'
kickboxing
comment down there is saying, "What about Bad Habit with y'all shirt?" That's what I'm saying, man. That's support I'm talking about. Been seeing a lot of people going and wanting to go out of their way to support us, and we really appreciate that. And you have no idea what that does to be able to help us improve our equipment. And at some point, maybe we won't be having problems with the stream just randomly crashing and only having 12 minutes of video on our YouTube channel. I mean, we're headed in that direction. We just asking for some support from y'all, going to our merch shop and sharing our videos, going back to our YouTube channel, subscribing, really helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
Now, Sunday will be a jam-packed show. I'm really pumped for Sunday, but I will let y'all in on some news. Next Wednesday and next Sunday, there will not be any shows. We are going to be taking that time off just to hang out with our families for Christmas break. So we will be getting back to your regularly scheduled programming December 29th. And we will be having a special guest for that show. Go ahead and let y'all know now. It is Brandon Overmeyer with the American Outlaw Turbo Diesel. America
I just found that out right now. I didn't know that.
Cummins Monster Truck. Yes, that's right.
Same.
Pretty pumped to have him back on. He was with us back, when we had a different streaming platform. I don't think Spence was on the show with us that night. We had a great time, but they've grown leaps and bounds. I'm really excited to see what their plans are for next year, and we're gonna have a good time. But that's gonna be the 29th. Like I said, it'll be a show this Sunday, but then the next Wednesday and the Sunday after that. So the 22nd and the 26th, we will not be having shows. I'll be rocking the Remember When Throttle had it Europe. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about, Buddha.
Oh man, Throttle out going to Europe. That's awesome. We appreciate it, Buddha. I'm really happy for you what you're doing over there with Team Bigfoot. It seems like you're having a hell of a lot of fun doing it too.
They seem to be having a good time wherever they're at over there. I've been seeing a lot of pictures and videos from like their hotels set up and where are they at, Spence? Where are they at over there?
Oh come on, man! Like this was
It's Wednesday. Come on.
Yeah, but that's not the show that's going on. I don't know. It was somewhere in the Middle East.
Didn't it start with a Q or something?
Quartor? Yeah, Quartar or something like that. Come on. I need to get some like Michigan city names and have you guys pronounce them and see how hard it is for me. Anyway, another thing that's going to be going on with Sunday Stream. Hopefully, we sent out a care package to Tweety that he will have to open live, and it has to do kind of like a little bit of a gift giving thing for the holidays. Well, Tweety, I think you're going to like it, buddy.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. What are you talking about? This what this is? What is this?
Put me on the
That's your
spot.
phone.
So someone had messaged Throttle out.
Uh-oh.
I guess there's some Monster Jam like wait list for drivers, I guess, in case they need someone to come drive in an arena show. Someone sent us over to someone else's YouTube channel, and they were talking about how Tim Jones is rumored to be on one of the Monster Jam arena tours next year.
No way.
I guess
There's no way.
someone had made a comment to him on social media, and he was like, "I'm on the list," or "I'm like on the wait list," or something like that. If he was going to be with
Weird
Monster
that there's a
Jam.
wait list.
And then he posted a picture of a BKT tire, so people are now speculating that he's going to be with Monster Jam. next
Okay,
year.
we just went straight to rumorville. Okay.
I've got another one. I'll one up you on this one. So we're gonna show off. Actually, do we have? I emailed Harley something. Is it in the stream? So when we talk about it, we can put it up.
Yes.
Okay. So before we bring that up, so there's rumors going around that Feld Entertainment and Monster Jam are mandating EFI setups for everybody that is in Monster Jam competition.
What?
Meaning independents also have to switch their entire system over to electronic fuel injection. What? That is not cheap. I mean, considering mechanical fuel injection has been tried and true, and everybody uses it. It's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Not to mention, even Monster Jam hasn't perfected fuel injection on a monster truck on a 540 big block. I mean, that seems to be kind of overstepping a little bit, saying, "Oh, you have to run EFI." My question is why? Why does it have anything to do with these guys? It's bad enough you got them on running mufflers. It's bad enough that you got them, regulating what they can do, and it's bad enough that you're forcing them to buy these tires. Oh, well, now we need you to get an electronic fuel injection system for your truck. Next thing you know, they're just be like, you know what? If you want to run with us, you just need to build your own Monster Jam stat truck. Like, everything's CRD, 540, 871 blower. Everything needs to be exactly like Monster Jam. My question is why? Why go out of your way to regulate and demand independents to run a system that is just going to cost them more money and they honestly don't need? So what do you guys think? Even if this is true, this is a rumor, but what do you guys think?
But hold on, Coop. Before we get too far down the rabbit hole on this, I just want to say a special thank you to Joey Milletti, who sent us the information on possibly Tim Jones getting into Monster Jam. Thank you very much for that, and we appreciate you. Now, going back to this, Cooper, were you going to say something?
I was clean fuel injection. I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of their stance on it, right? It's supposed to help with, the emissions
The
or whatever in arenas, right? That's kind of the whole concept of it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to speak on behalf of everyone watching the Throttle Out show, everyone behind the scenes of the Throttle Out show, the reaction whenever we hear that Monster Jam might be possibly implementing EFI into everyone's setup. That is all.
The only part it gets awful with on that is just whenever a wire goes bad and then just you gotta hook up the computer, start chasing stuff. I never actually learned it. They only chose, which I thought was kind of like shitty, to be honest. They had like 2 people on the tour, on each tour, that knew EFI. It's like, maybe you just teach us all. Like, once you learned it, it actually wasn't that hard. but it just from whatever I messed with, like in that what was it, Dallas show, whenever we were doing the motor swap, and our Corey put the wrong mag in, he also accidentally cut a wire on the EFI, so we also had to rewire it on a kind of a guess, but we did not know how to really rewire it, so we had to get another one, match all the wires. It took so much time. So that's the part of the disadvantage, the disadvantage for having EFIs is it causes for another step on fixing a problem instead of just leaving it the way it is and less problems. But
something I wanted to bring up, Coop, was the difference in having the EFI set up on a monster truck versus something else, off-road or something else, in the motorsports world. So, say drag racing, for example, like the Top Fuel dragsters. Okay, when we were sitting down with the guy from Holly, and he was talking about I think it's the Dominator system or whatever that they run. Mm-hmm. And it was so difficult to write a tune for monster trucks. Because if you think about it, in drag racing, it just goes straight from engine idle, to 110%, right? There's no in between. Well, in monster trucks, there's all kinds of in between, right? There's just creeping around the track. Then there's about halfway in the throttle. So it was very difficult for them to write a tune. So right out of the gate, there are a lot of people pissed off. A lot of people at Monster Jam, I included in that conversation, having to dig with this new system. It didn't make any sense to me. And I'll tell you, my biggest complaint with the entire system is this right here, is when you go from town to town, and I guess maybe I should kind of, track back just a little bit. When you have mechanical fuel injection and you start changing, what's the word I'm looking for here? The altitude, wherever you go from, city to city, coast to coast.
When you change the pill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you start messing with what we call the pill and the fuel injections in the mechanical fuel injection system. But you do that manually. You get to know the system a little bit better. You understand how it works, okay? Well, with this EFI setup, it's supposed to be so special that you don't have to do any of that stuff, that it's supposed to automatically learn its environment. The fuel system will whenever you turn the truck on. So one weekend we're in, I think we were in California. Okay, I think we were in Anaheim maybe. And we ran on down to Phoenix, or to Glendale, sorry. We had morning media, 5 a.m. We're all there at the track. Gravedigger, Whiplash, Monster Energy. We go to fire the trucks up at 5 a.m., and none of the trucks will stay running. And we almost were running late. It was embarrassing. But it all came down to that. The trucks had to learn their environment, but the trucks wouldn't learn their environment. Obviously, they couldn't stay on, so you had to put your foot on the throttle. What happens when you do that? Well, now the truck is learning that when you give it gas, now it can start to learn. So, long story short, rant cut shorter. I guess I know I've been rambling over here. Very fired up about this.
Yeah, it sounds like
here's the reason why old Tweety is fired up about this, because I believe this was the same show, because you were in Glendale. I was in San Diego. And somewhere on your tour, you guys had somebody break something in the EFI system or sensor or something went out. So Tweety and so I'm in San Diego, California. He's in Glendale, Arizona, and we both had to drive about 4 hours each way to meet somewhere in the middle just so he could get a part that's about the size of a quarter because of these stupid EFI systems.
Yeah. I had to leave wrenching on El Toro Loco. They didn't have a body on it during practice. They were having some mechanical issues anyways. After practice was over, we immediately get to wrenching on this thing. Hey, Tweety, you got to hop in the van, take somebody with you. You got to grab this part. There's plenty of other people who could have done that. I didn't have to go and do that, but no, I had to go and do it for some reason. You were the special one. And what do you know? I get all the way to San Diego. We get all the way back, and they're still working on Toro. So we got back to work on, and it wasn't much longer after that. They were almost done, but gosh, damn that!
Not like they could just send the tour coordinator. That is literally just a glorified babysitter. They could have just sent them in their rental car and do it themselves. But no, one of the mechanics that's a key part to get the trucks fixed has to go do it first. That makes sense.
No love. Anyway. Someone's got to keep an eye on you guys, because then you could just start drinking beer.
No, what are you talking about? Monster Jam mechanics are the most responsible technicians there are out there.
Nah.
Nah.
I drank on the job once. It was nice.
So I know we're running at 9:30, but something we need to talk about going into 2022 is, kind of talk about Team Scream a little bit. It is going to be Avengers' 25th anniversary in competition, and our good friend Taylor Andes, Jam Custom Official, made a really badass anniversary design. This isn't official. This is just something that he whipped up. And I gotta say, if this comes to fruition, this would be, in my opinion, the best Avenger paint scheme ever created. Go ahead and throw it up there on the board when you get a second.
I thought you put it on there.
No. Okay. Keep talking, Spence.
What? You said it was okay.
So what do you mean?
So
this,
when I was a
this is
wee
your
little
favorite
lad,
body?
what's up?
So like
What'd you say?
this would be considered your favorite Avenger body if it was
Yes,
to be true.
Correct. So Jim Kohler has always done really awesome schemes for like going into World Finals, and he even did there it is. So this has got some like old school hot rod drag car looking vibes to it. I actually called Taylor because you see like all the multiple colors is going down the side. You see the kind of like the fleece or whatever design like lowriders kind of have on the roof. You got the big anniversary on the hood. I love the flake that's in the paint. But I love like if you kind of look at the paint, like the little lines of paint throughout that design going down, it almost kind of reminds you of each individual paint scheme that Avenger has ran in the past.
Aww.
So I think this looks awesome. It looks absolutely killer. If Team Screen, you watching tonight, please make this happen. This thing looks sick and amazing. I'm looking in the comments section. It looks like Paige has a question for me. I am terrified.
Yeah, Paige, what's the question?
I'm worried. What is it?
Ask the question instead of insulting me.
Hold on, I want to see what Jimmy C had to say. What's Jimmy's comment?
Conspiracy or not, Monster Jam will have the tune available for the EFI systems and sell the tunes to the indie teams. Seemed like this would be another way to get them more money in their pockets. Yep, that sounds about right.
What? You mean to tell me a $1 billion company is going to just sell parts to make more money off of the independent teams?
I mean, did they not start that with having them implement BKT tires, though?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
so Taylor just commented in the section about the design that he did. It's actually based off of Jim Kohler's father's drag car, the paint scheme that his drag car apparently had. So, yeah.
Oh, here's your question. She wants to know, what do you think her mini is going to look like?
So
Like a mini monster truck.
Every great monster truck that there is, or at least a majority of great monster trucks, like the name and the paint scheme kind of go hand in hand. And examples would be like you've got, Gravedigger, like it's got the graveyard, the spooky paint scheme, the flames. Max D, you got the spikes, the fire, the metal, the spikes, and everything. Like when you go to name your truck, having a name also basically describe what the name is. Like it's got to define itself. So seeing some people that have designs for trucks where it's just a name on the side, I'll give you guys a perfect example. When the Z Tour bought, I want to say it was Mente's old truck, and it was just called Tank. Like it was literally a blank body with a decal that just says Tank on the side. Nothing else. That looks terrible. Now, Revenge, I gotta say, if I had to guess, there's probably gonna flames, probably a dark scheme, and honestly, if you're gonna go to anybody about a design, you might want to hit up Taylor, because if you're going for like a really dark flames, skulls, kind of wicked looking kind of creation, Taylor would be somebody to get a hold of. But if you have something or a theme that you're going with, then I'm really looking forward to what you come up with. But I've got a feeling it's not going to be a typical, there's a girl driving a mini monster truck, it's going to be pink. So
With
that's what
Paige,
I'm looking forward to.
No, it's not going to be pink.
No way.
Thank goodness.
Man, what
whatever
an
it
episode.
is.
This has been awesome. I've enjoyed it tonight. And Ryan, if you're still watching, thank you for coming on tonight, man. This was great.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the comment section lit it up tonight. Glad y'all were rapping the Rock's new song. That's awesome. And then everything else in between. That was great. Please do not forget, giveaway ends in just a few hours. Do what you can to support our channel. We do not charge y'all to watch the show. We will not charge y'all to watch the
Get
show
this hat
ever.
or this hoodie or this shirt.
Get that shirt. Get some of the new
First
stuff.
person to, if anybody buys $100 worth of merch tonight, Cooper will send you one of his clipped toenails. Just so you know.
I mean, I'll send them something, but not that.
It's on you.
I mean, honestly, if someone actually does that, I will send them something. Maybe some pug hair or
Some bug hair.
Maybe pug hair and a love letter.
trim my
love
beard
letter.
and then throw
For
it
the
in
first
there.
$100 order tonight, some pug hair and a love letter from Coop and his dogs.
Yeah, I'll call you.
He'll personally call you.
A personal
There you
call
go,
from
man.
Coop.
Yeah, $100. Whoever pays $100 on whatever merchandise you get, I will personally give you a phone call.
Check out some high octane coffee. Get you some. Wake up in the morning. I know that's what I drank. Or this morning I got up at 3 a.m. to go dig some ditches. Okay. Get some high octane coffee. Check out Frosty Boys on YouTube. Check out America TV on YouTube. And remember, like, share, and subscribe to these videos. When in doubt, throttle out. Peace out, y'all. Good night, everybody.